The biggest tragedy of my life was that I wasn't my mother's real son, I was her stepson. My father's first marriage ended early, and when I was very young, my birth mother passed away. My father raised me with love and care, but when he remarried, my life took a drastic turn. My new mother never truly accepted me as her own son. From the beginning, she kept her distance. Maybe she saw my birth mother's reflection in me, or maybe she just couldn't make space for me in her heart. Every time I called her Mom, she would look at me with cold eyes, as if the word itself was a burden to her. There were 3 of us in the house: my father, my stepmother, and me. My father was always a treasure of affection for me, but he was mostly busy with work. When he wasn't home, I would face the loneliness of my stepmother's disdain. Her eyes always followed me, but it was never with love, only with indifference and resentment. I remember one day after school, I came home with a beautiful drawing I had made. It was of me and my stepmother, smiling together. I went to her, hoping she would be happy. I hesitated but finally said, "Mom, look, I made this for you." Without even glancing at it, she replied coldly, "I don't have time for your nonsense." Her harsh tone cut through me like a blade. I quietly went to my room, tears welling in my eyes. No matter what I did, it felt like she would never accept me as her son. Most nights, I would go to my father for comfort because I was always searching for the love I was missing. But whenever she spoke to him, she would say things like, "Your son," as if I was just a burden in her life. One day, my father fell ill and had to be hospitalized. The responsibility of the house fell on my stepmother's shoulders. I thought that maybe, just maybe, now she would treat me with a bit more kindness. But things only got worse. She became angry all the time, snapping at me for no reason. "It's all because of you. If you weren't here, my life would be so much better." Hearing those words shattered me inside, but I kept quiet, bearing it all. One night, I was sitting in my room when my stepmother called me. Deep down, I hoped that maybe she would finally speak to me kindly. But as I approached her, she looked at me sternly and said, "Do you really think you'll stay in this house forever? This isn't your home, it's your father's. Once he's gone, you'll have to leave." Hearing that shook me to my core. Did she really hate me that much? The child inside me broke that night. My father eventually recovered and returned home. I decided not to tell him anything, but inside, I felt weaker and more alone. My stepmother's coldness had left a deep wound in my heart. Maybe she would never accept me, and I would always remain a stranger to her. But instead of letting that pain consume me, I chose to make myself stronger. I knew who I was, and one day, I would find my own identity, my own respect. If not my stepmother's love, I would at least have my own self-love to carry me through.